Welcome to Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt. I'm Tobie Hewitt, and I'm your guide through time and space and all points in between. Mystic Musings will give you insight into who you are, why you are here, how to live an authentic life, and where you fit into the universe around you. Join me on this path of mystical exploration. Welcome to episode 71 of Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt. This week, we will consider setting intent as we continue our mystic journey. This week, no matter what card I pulled from several decks, I could not find one that resonated with me. It seemed that the universe wanted me to reach out further for the topic, and, as Dorothy did, I found it in my own backyard. Well, I found it within. This week, indeed this time period, is one in which I am seeing many of the things I envisioned for years coming to fruition. I am preparing to move to the location of my dreams. My path is beginning to materialize, and I am becoming the me I always wanted to be. When I was young, I lived close to the Mohawk and Hudson rivers and loved the flowing waters, which touched something deep inside of me. The messages that would swirl around my young mind spoke of that which I eventually found in Hermann Hesse's book, Siddhartha, a fictionalized telling of the life of Buddha. In the book, he speaks of the river as being both timeless and now, and everywhere and here. And the idea of the river being all these things, always flowing through time and space, and yet also holding in here and now, has always seemed to me to represent the totality of the universe. And in that, it was always my dream to live by a river, because it seemed to speak to my soul, that part that is both internal and part of the greater whole. And it is coming to pass that, having held the intent of doing so, I am about to move to a house by a river, to live and to learn. I also had set the intent to be able to write and to share the knowledge that was shared with me with others. One of the most important lessons was that of mindfulness, not just as a solitary pursuit, but also how to be mindful in community and share through awareness and action the concepts compassion and empathy. I share my writing in many forms now, not the least of which is this podcast. And I now am beginning my journey of bringing these insights to larger groups in person through Pathways to Mindfulness presentations. I recently did so with a group of 26 people on a nearby college campus. I had once hoped to teach English there full-time, but that, for many reasons, was not to be. Instead, I am grateful to realize that by sharing mindfulness techniques, I am indeed teaching that which others perhaps most need to learn. So sometimes that on which we set intent manifests differently than we think it will when first set in motion, but in the end is exactly what our spirit intended. And finally, I am manifesting the intent of living the life I envisioned so long ago. I am shaping my life into one of service in many forms, not the least of which is the writing and presentations, but also the vision of creating a retreat center to which people can come and learn and find their center and their spirit. After my move, the plans for the One Sky Spirit Center will begin to take shape. This place, the location of which was only 4 miles off from the one predicted by a friend of mine, will offer programming including yoga, meditation, qigong, and other mindfulness modalities. In addition, I will be offering a space in which writers can come and grow. Setting intent is simple to do. You wake up one morning and decide you wish, for example, to live by a river, to teach what you know, and to share with others, and set these as ideas of intent. And then you work hard to follow a path that will allow the manifestation of those ideas on this plane in your life. I invite you to set an intent, large or small. Write it down and read it every day, and then work hard at making it happen. The universe will then know what you want and will conspire with you to attain it. Namaste. Please join me next week for episode 72 of Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt, when Spirit will surprise us with new ideas as we continue our mystic journey. Thanks for listening to this episode of Mystic Musings. Please join me every week to continue our exploration of all things mystical that can help you have a more practical and magical life. Please visit my website, tobiehewitt.com, for more information and to read my blog postings. And join me also at pathwaystomindfulness.org to learn how you can schedule a presentation. I'm available for mindfulness training, demonstrations of psychic abilities, and individual readings. I also have a number of books on mystical topics on Amazon.com. I look forward to hearing from you and answering your questions. Please contact me through tobiehewitt.com.